Covering the Universal Orlando Resort for 6 years, you are listening to the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 244 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. I'm your host Tracy, and this week I have with me my hubby Lee.
Hello everyone.
My lovely friend Darren.
Hey, what's up, Internet?
No Hunter. But we have a special guest. We have the lovely Maureen with us. Hi Maureen.
Hi y'all.
Hello. Everyone knows Maureen's voice anyway.
Yes. Maureen from Autism at the Parks.
Of course.
Which we always enjoy.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Now, Hunter's missing this week.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah. if you see him, send him home. So we've actually decided to push back our second part of the look at comparing Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando to 2 weeks' time. So you've got something to look forward to?
Yes.
Yes. But on the back of something we mentioned on episode 242, we've invited our lovely friend Maureen from Autism at the Park, trying to trip over my words, to discuss her top 5 places in each of the parks to escape the crowds.
Yeah, because I think it was back on when we were comparing Disney and Universal that we said that Disney gave you those sort of common areas more than Universal did. And then it was kind of like, I wonder where those places are. Mm-hmm. And obviously, in my mind, the first person that popped into my head that was like, if anyone's going to know where those places to escape the crowds are, it's got to be Maureen.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you thinking of me.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You were the first, but I didn't even consider anybody else.
Are you buttering her up?
No, I don't think so.
I was going to say, 'cause it sounds like it. Shall we head into Islands of Adventure first, Maureen? And are we going backwards?
We are going
great.
5-1, yes.
So, what's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is the outside path to the Discovery Center waterfront, and there's like a walk next to the water. And sometimes they direct you
Maureen,
through that walk.
You cut out a bit there. Can you do that again? Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It dropped out completely.
Oh, okay. Let me try again. Okay.
Thank you.
My number 5 is the outside path to the Discovery Center waterfront. It's next to the watering hole quick service. There's a pathway down that area to the Discovery Center. Sometimes you'll be directed to go along that pathway to avoid the Wizarding World. If they're real crowded, you can walk that bypass. But that one pathway that's next to the watering hole, it varies. Sometimes there's picnic tables there, sometimes there's not. And if you just walk along that way or even sit in the picnic tables, it's not very popular to walk down there. So you're out of the crowds, you can take a break, eat a snack. When they have the picnic tables, that's a lot of times where we'll have our afternoon snack. And that's my number 5.
It takes you out round like the backside of the Discovery Centre, isn't it? Because it's like a really good view of the rest of the park as well.
Right. If you go all the way down, you can see, and then there's a smoking section down there. But if you don't want to go all the way down to the smoking section, you can still like sit along or just even sit on the ground if you have to. Depends on how urgent the situation is. Yeah. But but that's a good out of the way spot.
I'm sure didn't me, you, Darren, and the kids go down there in 2013, the day we hung out in the park? Is that right, Darren?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. Because there was like a gate open on one side and we were all daring each other to go down.
Oh, that's right, yes. But it's nice down there as well because you've got some lovely shaded areas and all the greenery is really calming as well. And
I think because it's like a weird path down the side, a lot of people won't venture down there because it's not on the main.
Yeah, it's not on the beaten track.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great for my family.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a good number 5. So what have we got next?
For my number 4, I have Camp Jurassic.
Okay.
What you can do is when you go into Camp Jurassic, it's mobs of people. That's not where I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
But if
what
you keep
confused
going
me.
in and follow the paths along the way, then you can find a out of the way spot that there's not a lot of people, and you can just sit down and take a break and cool off because it's so shaded and covered. And you can, even if your family member needs to just walk around on their own, that's a good area to do that too. So that was my number 4.
Yeah, because it seems a counterintuitive one that you would think somewhere like that would be quite busy all the time, which is probably why a lot of people don't go in. It's that thing, don't go in there, it's dead busy, but it's that same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of little small areas, like I said, nooks and crannies and areas in there where, you wouldn't even think to go normally. So you might have like 1 or 2 people come through like the entire time you're sitting there. So. When they were constructing Kong, we spent a lot of time up there taking pictures of the construction. So I got very used to Jurassic.
I did too. I would walk up those stairs, and then I got bummed out when they would started catching on to us and blocked it off.
Yeah. We still haven't spent any sort of real time in there. Literally, the only time we've been in Camp Jurassic was when we come off Pteranodon Flyers and got stuck in those plastic slides.
Yep, that was horrible.
It wasn't pleasant, no.
No.
It's those slidey slides where you don't slide, you just kind of all the way down. And you get halfway down and say, "Can someone pull my legs because I can't get out?"
And you all just left me there. Evil. Don't leave the mummy stuck in a tube.
I had to come down. You should have gone down first, and then if I'd have come down after you, I could have pushed you out. It'd be like being given birth in Jurassic Park.
I can walk in the toilet again. Weirdo. I think we'd better move on to number 3, Marie.
Okay, I have like a 2-parter on 3.
Okay.
Ooh.
All along the waterfront in Islands of Adventure, these are all great places to go to get away from the crowds. A lot of them are smoking sections, but you can still avoid those smoking sections. But the best part of the waterfront paths are near Me Ship the Olive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever gone down there and, just take to the right of Me Ship the Olive or to the left, and then you can just meander around there, take your time, cool off, get a break from because I've never been there when it's been very busy. I've seen other people walking along, and it's a great place to take pictures too.
Yeah.
But that's a real good spot if you're in that part of the park to get away from the crowds.
Yeah, we were down there last time we came over because I was taking a lot of the pictures of the deconstruction of the Hulk.
And you dragged me away. We must have spent a good hour around that area.
Oh, we did. Like, there doesn't seem to be, like, even Me Ship the Olive itself never seems to have a lot of people there. But again, it's like Islands of Adventure is one of those places where there are a lot of sort of hidden little tracks that because people are used to going to theme parks and doing that circle, they don't tend to venture down the little paths, and I think a lot of people miss out on stuff like Plymouth Rock, isn't the Plymouth Rock's down there, isn't it?
There and,
miss out on stuff like that because they won't go down off the sort of main thoroughfare.
Yeah.
Because we've done that down by Port of Entry. There's like a nice the sort of the Marvel superhero island kind of Confisco grill. You can get down there. We've been down there and chilled out a bit.
Is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's blocked off. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, that was like Nina and I's favorite spot to hang out there because you get the Hulk coming by every minute or so in that area, and you completely apart from the crowds. And when they didn't have the Hogwarts Express, we'd always stop there and just hang out for a little bit before we'd have to make the trek over to Universal. So
the like raw iron fence thing has an actual port of entry.
It does, the original badge. Logo.
Like a logo thing into the ironwork, and I've got a picture of it somewhere, and it's stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. So what's your number 2 for islands?
Okay, I had a hard time deciding which was number 2 and which is number 1, and I keep going back and forth. So right now, I have number 2 being the Jurassic Park Discovery Center inside downstairs.
Okay.
Because it's air conditioned.
Yep.
And it it can get, some crowd, some guests are in there, but it's usually not very crowded at all. It's a great place to escape if it's raining. It's a great place to escape if you're getting a little overheated. It's got interesting exhibits and things to do, or you can just sit down and take a break if you need one, to get out of the crowds, out of the heat. And it's not very noisy in there, even though it's inside a building. And that's a really good spot. I really recommend.
It's not brightly lit in there either, is it?
No.
Which I like that as well.
I can definitely vouch for the aircon, because when the first time we went, we did all the water rides and then went it, because we were like, we've never been here before, so we'll just go around the park in order. And we did Dudley Do-Right, Bilge-Rat Barges, River Adventure, and then let's go in the Discovery Centre. Soaking wet, freezing cold aircon. It's like, oh my God, is this Florida or what?
Bright sparks.
It was cold.
Just a bit.
I just can imagine how cold that was.
It was.
And we're from the northeast of England, so it must have been cold.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
And kind of related to that one, I can also vouch for upstairs at the restaurant. If you go out the restaurant, there's a balcony on the outside that not a lot of people will go on.
Oh yeah.
And Nina and I spend a lot of time there too, just hanging out, and because it's beautiful back there. First of all, they've got I think it's hibiscus, so there's tons of pink flowers all over the place. And it's just super quiet. There's usually not a ton of families that go out on the balcony back there. Most people want to sit in the air conditioning, you said. So that can tend to be a super nice, quiet place to hang out for a little bit.
I did not know. I thought we've only ever been upstairs once, and we went to the shop and bought those lollies with the scorpions in them.
Oh, yeah.
To bring back for some silly sod over here who wanted them.
Weirdo. That's a good tip, that one, for downstairs.
Yeah, it's not somewhere, again, that I would have necessarily considered.
No.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Because, there's, even though, like you said, there's people down there. There's usually people down there. It's not overwhelming at all, and there's so many little corners and everything. Little corners that you can just go and chill out in. Yeah. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's all right for chilling out, and if you want to actually do anything, it's not because it's garbage.
Literally chilling out in. Is that why nobody goes in?
It doesn't work. None of it works anymore. I played that.
How do you know that the dinosaurs weren't actually blind?
The last time we went in there, admittedly, which was 2013, but there's that big game show thing with the buttons on, right? I still managed to win, and one of the buttons wasn't working. The dinosaurs, where you look through the binocular things to see through that nothing
They might
at
have all needed glasses.
Well, what's the point?
Or let's scratch corneas. Or they've been looking at the sun too much. They only had little brains.
This is what the dinosaurs see. Nothing, because they're dead. They were extinct 500 million years ago.
You figured it out. Good job.
Andy would be cursing me now. Andy was sat there, how dare you chastise my Jurassic Park.
Wally.
Tear it down and build something else.
You're a bit harsh.
I've always said they should tear it down. They should have built Hogsmeade where the Jurassic Park Discovery Centre is, and then you could have had the boats going across the lake to Hogsmeade and then up into the castle.
With squiddy tentacles.
That's how it should have been. That's how they've done it in Japan.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome.
Awesome.
Get rid of it. We need to start a petition. Get rid of Jurassic Park. No one goes in there and it's crap.
No, we need those quiet places, so shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
The boat ride
What's this actual episode about, you Wally?
The boats across the lake. That's your chill out.
Only if I can get one with nobody else in it.
Oh yeah, anything with Harry Potter in it is not going to be a chill out.
That's
exactly
true. Yeah, fair enough.
Enjoy this boat ride across the lake with 8,000 of your closest friends.
All dressed in robes, casting Expelliarmus.
Yep.
You might just be missing the point of this episode, dear.
I like to go off on tangents.
Just a bit. So, Maureen, what's your number one for Islands of Adventure?
My number one is the Zach's Bypass in Zeus Landing.
Yay!
When we discovered it, we're always there. We're always on that. Well, and since Green Eggs and Ham is hardly ever open, maybe 3 days a year.
Yeah.
We always bring a picnic lunch with us, and we'll sit there at Green Eggs and Ham and eat and watch the Hulk go by, and then we can hear the trolley train ride playing, and it's above us, but it's quiet. I mean, there's not a lot of foot traffic through there.
No,
we're outside. The tables are covered with umbrellas usually, unless it's windy, they'll shut the umbrellas, but it's a great place. And then if you go beyond like the picnic area by Green Eggs and Ham and that bypass, you can chill out there. You can take a nap back there if you need to.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, the seats are like benches.
I mean, yeah. And then so I really recommend that area. Even if you have like a kid in a stroller that needs a nap, that's a good place to go. To get them settled down and away from the crowds.
Yeah, we use that as a chill out zone ourselves. We'll, maybe mid-afternoon, go into Snooks and Snookers, get all the sugar, sit there, eat until we turn green, and then just chill out while the sugar then hits our systems. And then we're recharged and off we go. But I like it behind there.
There's actually a few areas in Zeus Landing, kind of, because if you get down where all the stories you'll hear, if that's not on, that whole area as well. And
that's a great place too.
Yeah. And then kind of round where Q for Quandary.
That's all part of the
like
same.
that bit round there.
It leads round to Sneech Beach.
Like
it's all
looking
the same
out
area.
onto the lake. There's never anybody round there either, because that's normally where we sit.
Or the inside of Circus McGurgus.
Yeah.
At any time, including lunch rush.
I still don't know why we've eaten in there 3 times.
No,
Why is that open? Yeah, Green Eggs and Ham
isn't.
isn't.
I know.
Because the trolley goes through. That's the only reason, I guarantee you.
Awful. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Forgot what I was going to say there. Yeah. Nope. Brain's gone. I was going to say, that's what I was going to say. It's really quiet behind there. Because the last time we went, we sat down and there's nobody about and lots of seats. And that woman came and sat next to us and lit a cigarette up.
Oh, boy.
And it was just really... Oh, I never
Was that
forget
not when
stuff
we were
like
having
that.
our green eggs and ham and you all complained it was all too peppery?
No, we weren't.
Especially when
it was
like
round
not
the
even
back.
20 steps from there's a smoking area.
And
Oh boy!
But I did that British thing of muttering under my breath and giving her the evil eye, and
It didn't work.
and wishing all these things on her.
Yeah.
But that's a good number one. That
Yeah.
I
Very
like.
nice
Plus,
area.
it's in my favourite land.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's Tracy approved. That number one.
Yeah, because like you say, it is a difficult thing in theme parks because they are, especially they are getting busier and busier and busier all the time, and the Universal parks aren't that big really. In sort of, if you compare it to something like the Magic Kingdom, they are relatively small parks. So trying to find, to be honest, you could say most of Port of Entry because no one ever seems to. It's disappointing that not a lot of people go or take the time in Port of Entry.
No.
But then we've been guilty of it.
Oh,
She said she struggled to not get it down to a top 10.
I was going to say, are there any that you'd like to mention, Maureen, that didn't quite make the cut?
Well, Lee said like the the stories you'll hear area, and also to keep in mind the first aids. You can go there if you're having a really bad time.
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to mention to the first aid stations at either park.
Yeah.
But there's like the restrooms over in Jurassic Park. After you walk toward the Jurassic Park River ride toward the games, there's a restroom area over there. That's a good area if you wanted to chill out too.
Yeah, it's set back a little bit, isn't it?
Didn't that used to be a smoking area though?
I think part of it, but there's some picnic tables too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had them.
Yeah.
Because I think we've hung out there before,
Uh-huh.
and then it seemed to
We
be
used
where
to,
it
yeah.
became more of a smoking area, and then
Mm-hmm.
cause that's where you got changed that day when we went and rid the rid. That's not even a word. Rode the water rides. The first time we went.
Is that where I got changed?
Yeah.
All right.
And one other place near the fountain, near the Sinbad entrance.
Yeah.
To the show, Sinbad show. That would be an area you can sit down since there's not a whole lot going on over there. So.
Yeah, definitely. And even inside the Sinbad show area, there's like a pre-show kind of area before you get into the main seating area.
There is, yeah.
And we've hung out back there for a little while as well. I know that. So yeah, there's a lot of little quiet areas back there in that spot. So.
Yeah, you could kind of saying that it's made me think that like the sort of section of Poseidon's Fury from where like because you come round in front of Mythos and then there's that weird sort of like outside. I'm not going to say queue because Todd will have me life, but that's not part of the queue. But there's that little area before you get into like where the wait time section
Poseidon's
is.
garden.
Yeah, there's that little area, isn't there? It's quite tranquil. And I suppose you could hang out there. And let's be honest,
It's a bit exposed though. There's not a lot of shade.
No, but if you just want it to just get out of the crowds, Poseidon's Fury doesn't exactly get massive crowds, does it? Which is a shame. But, you know, that's an area. It's a big area.
Yeah.
So you could potentially get a little bit of space on your own as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say my two honorable mentions at this park were behind Mythos, actually.
Yeah.
You know, once you go over the bridge there, you got a nice, big, quiet area back there.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to pass the troll on the bridge, though.
Yes,
so.
you do.
You got to pay the troll toll
for that. Yeah, and then on the other side, in Marble Superhero Island, behind the Fantastic Four Cafe, there's a nice, big, huge waterfront area there as well. There's not really benches or anything back there, but it's just this huge empty spot. It's behind like. You know where they have like where the meteor strike is, quote unquote, where they have all the images of the superheroes?
Yes.
Behind that on the waterfront side is just this like, it's almost like a park, like an empty, like metropolitan kind of park.
That's Captain America Diner, isn't it? Isn't the Cafe 4's the first
Captain
one,
America
isn't it?
Diner, that's right, sorry.
That's what Tracy's looking at me as if to say, what the hell's he on about? And I'm thinking, I don't behind Cafe.
Behind there, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because not many people go around there either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another good spot, especially late at night, because everything's lit up really nice back there. So it's a beautiful view of the rest of the park.
See, I think it's a shame they don't open. You could fence off like the extended queue for Spider-Man, where the J. Jonah Jameson statue is, because it's like a nice little sort of
like little
trees and like a little park, but it never seems to be open for anything. Like they don't often open the extended queue. I think we've only been through it once, and that was because they were refurbing the normal queue. Because I think you were with us at the time, actually thinking about it, Darren. That was the day when Thomas was staying on site, and we met up with him outside Bruce the Shark. He's like, "Oh, I rode Spider-Man 14 times in a row this morning." And I'm like, "We're doing this wrong."
Yeah.
Shall we park up and go into the studios?
Absolutely, because I think this is the more interesting one, because I think this is just trying to think about areas in the studios. I think it's a tougher
ask
than islands. Yeah,
I
definitely.
Agree. Okay, so lead us in with number 5, Maureen.
Okay, the concert lawn in Production Central when it's open. You know, when there's not a concert going on.
Yes.
In front of the stage. That's my number 5.
Yeah.
It's not covered, but it's not a walking area where you could get away from the crowds if you have to chill out, take a break, gather yourself together.
Yeah, everybody who's there is doing the same as what you are. They're just chilling out.
Yeah.
It's like that common area at college and stuff, isn't it, where people hang out and smoke sandwiches. Oh no, they eat sandwiches.
What have you been watching? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we've ever been on there, actually. Like, I don't think
I've
we've
wondered.
ever...
I have, because I've been the one stuck with the small child while you and Raymond go and ride Rocket. And you're in line for like 500 hours.
It was an hour and a half.
And when you came out, Jade had got a job.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
She was serving people in one of the booths.
It was the Jimmy Neutron shop.
Yep. And you actually went on that ride with the wallet.
Oh, yeah. That's why she was working in the shop, because she wanted to buy some sweets. So she had to work for the money.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
No, that's a good spot, yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a concert on, good
Not
luck.
so much. Yeah.
Forget that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So number 4 then, Maureen.
The Fear Factor entry area. When Fear Factor's not going on,
It's all the time.
you can
Nice.
sit there. There's a lot of there's a lot of there's a lot of chairs and benches, and it's away from the crowds, and it's not a very popular area to walk by for guests, and so that's a good place to chill out.
Actually, I think
Definitely.
we've sat round because like that section, like round the side, isn't it, opposite the old Jaws bathrooms?
Yeah. I miss
Yes.
those bathrooms.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've chastised Jade in that area. That's where we've took her when she was having a meltdown to bollock her, basically.
No. To calm her down lovingly.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, major tantrums. That's a nickname.
Yeah, the thing is, that was the
Yeah,
last
major
time we
tantrums.
went. Major tantrums. How many more How I Met Your Mother references do you want?
Right, okay. Yeah, it's one of those as well that most people would just walk straight past it and wouldn't even notice
Yeah.
it. Which is a
Yeah.
plus.
I think that's where
Yeah.
we bumped into Andy and Kevin and Sam
it was,
and
yeah.
Angela,
First
wasn't it?
time, yeah. In fact,
Yeah, I
only
think that's
saw the
it.
photo
The
other
only
day.
time that area gets busy is Halloween Horror Nights
Yeah.
when you're waiting for Bill and Ted. Other than that,
Absolutely.
it is a ghost town. So that's a very nice place to
Yes.
out there.
Excellent. Number 3.
Okay.
Rattling through these at a rate of knots, aren't we?
Okay, number 3 I have is Nocturne Alley.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
nice and cool in that area.
Yep.
It's dark. And if you go to the section of Nocturne Alley that if you just a few feet away are the restrooms in Diagon Alley.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But if you go into Nocturne, it's not very busy there.
Yeah.
And you can they have benches now, but you could also sit along the wall and just cool off and chill out
Yeah.
because Diagon Alley is very overwhelming sensory wise.
Yes.
I'm sure.
And the only way to escape it other than that area would be to leave Diagon Alley.
yeah.
Mm.
And so the Nocturne Alley is good. I mean, that's if you have to find a place in Diagon Alley, go there.
Yeah, it's one of those because it's like sometimes, if you could be a little dehydrated where you've just got the sort of the onstart of a headache somewhere like that. If you like take some headache tablets and just go and sit in there for
It's a
half
cool,
an hour.
dark place. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool,
it's
it's dark,
ideal
yeah.
for it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point. Because for all it's a really
Yeah.
popular place, you're right, it never seems to be
Right.
particularly
No.
busy.
And it does have lots of angled corners
Yeah.
as well, so there are places you can actually step back and
Yes.
secrete yourself.
Yeah.
Of course, I am thinking that from a purely evil point of view of scaring the kids and things like
Oh,
that. 'cause That's my job.
Oh my God,
I was going to say, I've accidentally scared a few employees sitting in that area too.
But talking about this, it's like they so need to do something in there for Halloween.
Oh, yeah. It would be great. But
They could have a solo walkthrough, lots of dry ice, and
Well,
just have a
JK
lantern.
JK knows who we are now, so I think it's
She
about
does,
time
yes.
we got her on the show.
Yes, we'll have this hashed out by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joanne, give us a ring.
You know the number. I bet that's who's been ringing me all day.
I doubt it.
And then hanging up. She's just too nervous to talk to us.
Maybe.
We can all dream.
She's on the other end of the phone. I can't talk to Tracy. I'm too nervous. Hang on.
Lou.
Maybe that's because someone's been trying to get hold of me for the last 3 weeks. Might be her as well. I just
Oh,
haven't
maybe.
answered it, though. That's why she's been ringing you.
Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, there's something about Nocturne Alley as well. I mean, not only it's probably one of my favourite places because I love all the dark side of anything anyway. But I think it is. It's because it's dark and it's cool. It has a stillness about it as well.
Yeah.
And I do come out of there calmer.
That's it,
You know,
especially.
into that sensory
I think you say
overload.
in a theme park to find somewhere that's calm is difficult.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not what they're built
Yeah,
for.
and
Hmm.
no, and one as popular as Diagon Alley, it's
Yeah.
even harder to find a place.
Yeah.
Because I wondered,
Yeah.
going back into Islands of Adventure a little bit, whether the patio out the back of the Three Broomsticks, I think if you catch that at the right time, that can be very
Yeah.
quiet.
It can also be very, very busy.
It can.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been out there sort of the back end of a night
yeah,
with
dusk,
just
it was
us.
nice, yeah.
So I think it's just one of those places, if you hit it right, it can be.
Yeah. Just not in the middle of the day.
No.
No. What number are we on next?
I think that was 3, wasn't
Was that
it?
3?
Was that 3, Maureen?
Yes, that was 3. Yes,
Yes.
that was 3.
Right. Number 2 then.
Okay, for my number 2, I have Central Park
Aha.
along the
Right.
waterfront.
Yeah. I
Right.
like it in there.
This is where we get
It's
confused, Maureen,
nice.
because we're never sure which park is which. Battery Park is the
It's the
one
little
near the
square.
Mummy. Central Park is the one over by Kids Zone, yes.
That's what I thought.
Yep. You're
I have
right.
a map. Let me look.
Yeah.
We always get... Because surely,
It's got
you would
like
expect
jogging.
Central Park should be in New York, surely.
This is where
Yeah,
I...
you think?
Yeah.
That's why I always get confused.
And because it's got the little meandering paths and the rocks and
Yeah.
the trees, like Central Park in New York. That's why I always thought it was
Not
Central
in
Park.
Hollywood. It's at the back
Yeah.
end of Hollywood, in the Kids Zone.
Yep.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's what it
Oh.
is. Yes.
The one over by Animal Actors, anyway. That's the one. Yes.
Yes, that one. That's real. We really like that because they do have benches there. Again, it's off the beaten path. There's not a lot of foot traffic. You
Mhm.
can chill out. There is some smoking sections over there, but you
Yeah.
can avoid the smokers if you need to. That's a good spot to get away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
where we watched Cinematic Spectacular from the twice we've seen it, didn't we? And there wasn't a lot of people in there.
Yeah, it's a great place to do that. And then even if that first path down there with the benches and everything, well, the benches by the water, if that is even a little crowded, which it's very rare, but every once in a while you'll see it. They have a second path that's up a little bit higher
Yeah.
that has more
Uh-huh.
benches on there, and I think
Okay.
that's even more secluded and shady as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been
Shaded.
up
that sounds
Shady.
dodgy. It's a bit
Shady.
shady around there.
it's a little
wouldn't it?
shady. Oh, it is Central Park, so yeah, kept the shady areas as well.
It makes sense, actually.
I like it in there. Especially
Yeah.
because there seems to be hundreds of lizards.
But again, it's one of those places we don't go in very often, but you should do because it's an area of refuge. And
Well, not just that. It's also, I think people should take time out of the busy days because it helps you take in what you've done
yeah,
and where you are as well. You know, calm your mind a bit, people.
I went and bought a huge pink donut and then hung out in there and watched Cinematic Spectacular. and
Yep,
Chase
I'm
didn't have any.
still waiting for some.
I just sit back there and stare at the DeLorean. So
Yeah. No, there are some nice little pockets as well. Because where we sat with Popcorn Doctor.
Yep.
And met Seth.
Yep.
Because that was set just
That
slightly
was
off.
kind of to the left-hand side,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
There was a little cluster of benches there, which was quite
Yes,
nice.
there
And
was.
it
That's
wasn't
where
on
we
the
were
main
sat,
pathway. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there are
Yeah.
some nice little pockets.
yeah,
I do
a lot-
believe
lot.
if you go and watch, I'll get a little plug for him here, Kerman and Scooper's latest
Oh,
video,
yes. I love
Being
them.
Green. I think you might recognise a certain area in the parks that was filmed in.
It has taken me weeks to get that song out of my head. I woke up singing it.
But that's where they filmed it. It's quite
Yeah.
obvious, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So, number 1 for the studios, Maureen.
Okay, there's a covered picnic table area next to Animal Actors.
Oh
If
yeah,
you know where I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's if you come out of the restroom area for Simpsons,
Yep, Android's Dungeon.
and
Yep.
you're going toward the Animal Actors entrance. There's a covered area that has picnic tables, a good number
Okay.
of picnic tables,
Yeah.
yes.
and people don't go there, and it's awesome to sit there and take a break. It's off the beaten path. It's cool. It's covered. If it's raining, it's great to go there to get out of the rain. We eat our picnic lunch there a lot. And if we need a break, from the sensory overload of the park, we'll head over there and chill out for a little while. But we really like it, and they've kept it up well. I mean, we've been there so much. We noticed when they painted things and when they got new umbrellas and all this.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend that area.
Yeah, it's kind of under the bleachers, so to speak, of the animal action stage.
I don't think we saw it last time because it was covered by Halloween Horror Nights stuff. There was a load of stuff in front of it.
Right.
Well, I was going to say this is my Halloween Horror Nights chill out spot. Okay. This is the spot where if I need to just chill and get away from everything at Horror Nights, this is where I go. Especially at Horror Nights. I mean, during the day there's nobody there. At Horror Nights there's really nobody there. And it'll really freak you out when a custodian walks through or something like that.
Thinking about it, when we did Horror Nights, do you remember the evening we went? It wasn't quite dark, and we'd walked through. I can't remember what the section was. Travis's section. Going in towards
Evil's Roots.
Yeah, going in towards Simpsons and all that area.
Yeah.
And there was the girl who'd already had far too much to drink, could barely walk, and she was stumbling. She ended up virtually laying across a picnic bench. That was where it was.
All right.
She was in front of us, and I wasn't taking anything in because I was just transfixed by how she was not breaking her ankles. And I've never seen anybody walk like that.
Our chill out area for Halloween Horror Nights, so it seemed to be the place where I got to just sort of stand around and not do a lot for a while, was the entrance to the Men in Black bathrooms. Because me and Raymond don't take anywhere near as much time in the bathrooms as you and Jade does. So you go in, do your bit. We come and we'd stand there for 10 minutes listening to clowns.
Girls wash their hands.
So do we. We just stand there raving out to clowns.
Now Lee is stood there with his hands bouncing around. This down. Explains why they always miss the toilet then.
Behave yourself.
You've just said we stand there raving to clowns.
Again, it is. I know it's the entrance to a toilet, but it's covered. It's quite a large area, what you mean. Actually.
Yeah. It's not the entrance to the toilet. No, it's just in front of the entrance.
No, it's
to the
not. It's because you
mean
where the bathrooms are, Men in Black. They're like if you're stood looking at Men in Black to the right hand side, and you come in, and there's like an entrance way that's covered, and then you go in, and there's like a water fountain on either side, and I think there's a telephone there as well, and then you go around the other side. That's covered, so that's obviously it's a bit creepy hanging around the entrance to the toilets, but.
You learn new things about your husband every day.
There's a bench in there, so.
Is that? Oh, that's even weirder.
Yeah. Well, like you said, if you're sitting there waiting for people to get out and stuff, and there's an air-conditioned area, so. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I would potentially say over by Bruce the Shark, because I don't think a lot of people go over there anymore, as a rule.
That can be in a lot of cases, especially behind that. There's some picnic tables as well that kind of face the water there. But at lunch, those will definitely fill up. So maybe in the early morning, more in the early morning, and then towards the evenings, get it nicer.
What about where the little triangular, lots of buildings, Nazamans and all of that, and you can go behind? It's like a little film set.
Oh, like Sting Alley.
Yeah, Sting Alley. I couldn't think what it was called. It can.
I've never seen lots of people. I don't even think people know it's there half the time.
Yeah, I'd say in most cases, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any honourable mentions, Maureen?
I had a couple more. One of them was over there by Richter Burgers. Mm-hmm. If you can, a lot of times they'll let you sit outside on the water area at those tables.
Yeah.
Sometimes they won't, sometimes they will. Another one is at the Barney show, the entry area, when they're not having a show. That's a great place to just sit and chill out because it's not. When they're not having a show, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
That's Barney's backyard, isn't it?
Well, off to the side.
Well, that's it. That's the inside one, right. But the outside area.
Okay. This is Barney's entrance. Sorry, Maureen.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Okay. This is what gets edited out of the show.
Oh, that's not getting edited out. We've got a whole episode that was just us giggling at Barney's entrance.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, I agree. Not a lot of people want to go into Barney's entrance.
Oh boy.
Better than Barney's exit.
Oh, man.
Roll!
We haven't done that for a while. I was going to say, like, I know it's not now, but when Jaws used to be around, one of our favourite places was because he had Nathan's hot dogs, and then there was those like picnic tables alongside.
Yeah, but that could get busy.
It was never busy when
It
we were
was. There was
in
a
there.
time.
No.
Yes, I
think
would
you
argue.
forget.
that
Your
trust me.
memory's terrible.
Uh-huh.
Because we used to always sit, because it was brilliant, because you'd get your hot dogs for your lunch and then go and sit there, and because it was right up against the water, all the Jaws
you'd watch
boats
the
come
boats.
back in, so when they'd come in and be like, woo, you'd join in.
Right, I remember going there with the kids, and you and Raymond stayed and got the dogs, and me and Jade went to get the table because it was busy, and we basically glared this family out of their table.
I don't remember
They were
that.
finished. They were just sitting there. So we looked at them and made them feel uncomfortable until they moved, in the best British way that you can.
Leave.
I was like, "Don't worry, my poor small child. You'll
I'm
get to
trying to
sit
think.
down and eat soon."
All the other honorable mentions I'm thinking of are smoking areas, so they don't really work out very well. A lot of the little corners and stuff that at Universal, they just turn those into smoking areas, like to the side of the Brown Derby hat shop.
Right.
It's a nice quiet corner there, but it's a smoking area, so...
I suppose you could up, like, in front of what used to be, I don't know, the New York Public Library. Like, up if you walk right to the end of there, no one's ever up there.
Yeah, even on the steps of the
that was one of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for anyone to go up there, so...
No.
If you want to pretend you're a Ghostbuster, there's a reason to go over there.
Well, absolutely.
Is a public allowed at the Gardens of Valor?
It's all different now, isn't it? Because of it being the preview centre and stuff.
I wanted to go in there as well.
I suppose the other park, whatever it is, the one that should be Central Park, I don't think we've ever been in there.
It's
Battery Park. It's a smoking area.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's all smoking. That's the issue.
That's why then. That's why I've never been in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess that's classed as outside of the park, though. If you go the side entrance, that's classed as City Walk, then, isn't it?
I don't know. You could still go up there because you're only going to get people who know that the secret entrance is there. Although Universal finally actually posted a blog in the last week or so of 5 ways to pimp your trip to Universal or whatever it was, and that the secret hidden entrance. You're posting it on your blog. It's not secret anymore. Every bugger knows about it now.
Saying that, the toilets at the entrance, the whole...
Yes, where the lockers and everything are.
Where we went in for the RIP tour and everything.
Yeah.
Where guest services is.
Yeah, that can be fairly quiet, but it's quite exposed if you want somewhere that's shaded.
Yeah, but if you just want to get away from people, it's not a bad area to go.
It's quite nice behind there, actually.
I think, there's plenty of places in both parks you've just got to look, and I think that's the problem. People don't. Yeah. People just, like, everyone, they're like sheep. It's like the first person in goes this way and everyone else follows.
I don't.
Well, yeah, and it's also kind of designed that way.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a rebel.
They want you to look at the next attraction and head that way.
Of course
so that's why they came up with go away green and those kind of colors.
Yeah.
So.
If you're sat round the corner from the entrance to Fear Factor, you're not in a shop buying tat.
Exactly.
I suppose if you're absolutely desperate, you just collar the nearest cast member,
team member,
whatever.
Not whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Collar the nearest team member and ask for help. Ask for guidance, and they should help.
Yeah. I can tell you, if you have an American Express card and you want to go to the lounge to get away from things for a little bit, don't do it because it's very loud in there.
Really?
Really?
When we went in there, it was packed, loud, annoying, and very dirty.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's good to know, actually.
So, I was just going to say, warn you, unless it's a quiet day, which I don't think they even have quiet days at the parks anymore at all.
No.
I would probably avoid that one.
If you want to sleep and you can sleep through loud noises, Terminator 2 is not a bad one. Tracy and I had a good 20-minute sleep in there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's even got its
Until
own...
the floor drops. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's it, exactly. That's what woke us up. Brilliant. It's time to get up and go now.
Yep. But, give me a quiet night at home, I can't get any sleep.
But we did, though, didn't we?
Yeah,
Both
we did.
fell asleep
Both
in
fell
tea.
asleep.
The kids were wide awake. And there's me and Tracy... Oh, there we go. Go on then, kids.
Oh, that was funny.
Getting old, dear.
Oh, I've been like that all the time.
Is that our universe of energy? I guess.
Yep, that's the one.
That's 40 minutes sleep I've had.
You didn't sleep. I slept through all of it. And you saw the pre-show, and that was it.
Well, if you're really good, you can sleep through that one too.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can up it to an hour.
Anything else
No.
to add on to that?
I don't think you need to. You could look at City Walk, but I don't suppose you need to think about ways to get away from the crowd in City Walk, really, do you?
Yeah.
Well, we'll go upstairs and sit outside the Bread Box or
Yeah.
Burger King up there if we're eating in City Walk.
Yeah.
If we have like our own meal or takeout, it's much less crowded and you can people watch and we sit right below the speaker with music because Zach loves the music and
Right.
and it drowns out all the noise. So
There you go.
of course
Good
I'm
idea.
deaf after we're sitting,
Yeah.
but he enjoys it, so it drowns out all the other noise that's around.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Excellent.
But that, like something that Tracy said, even if you're in like the queue or the not on the ride yet, and your family member is just not doing it, not having a good time, talk to a team member and they'll escort you to a place that you can,
Yeah.
escape the crowds or the noise and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was going to say it's common sense, but it's not something a lot of people seem to have anymore.
Especially when they go to the theme parks.
No.
Everyone
Single-mindedness, I forget.
leaves the common sense at home.
Yes.
No, it's good. I think, like I say, when I reached out to you, Maureen, I think it's one of those places that, obviously for you, with having Zach, that need to get out of the crowds is very, very important. But just for anybody who, everyone gets a bit frazzled. You have those days where it just gets to you. If you're there in the peak season and it's absolutely crazy, just somewhere you can go and sit, grab a drink and just chill out for 5 minutes is an absolute godsend.
Mutter about your husband and 2 kids under your breath while you're nursing a duff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I just don't like most people, so it's kind of
with you.
No, Tracy's totally in there with you.
The more I see of people, the more I like my animals. Oh, well, I guess that'll do it then, eh?
Yeah, it was good. I
enjoyed that. I learned a bit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on.
No, as I
Thank
said,
you for coming.
As I said, Maureen, you were the only person that
Yeah.
I thought of because, as I said, with you having Zach, it's a very important thing for you to know where those places are when you need to get to them and get out of the crowds quickly. So
Absolutely. And a good resource for all.
absolutely, we all need those things because those the theme parks can be, let's be honest, they're fun, but they can be the most fraught places
Overawing,
on the planet at the worst times. It's stressful. They can be, everyone goes, you put so much pressure, especially for people like us coming out from the UK. It costs thousands and thousands of pounds to get on. There's so much pressure for those holidays to be the best thing you've ever experienced in your life. And in reality, it's not that all the time.
No.
And you have those days where you want to stay in the parks, but just go somewhere just to have a 5 minute, 10 minute, just get out the way.
Yep.
Take stock of everything, reset, and then go back and refresh without having to go back to the hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that person. I wouldn't go back to a hotel. It's like, well, it'll take me 20 minutes to walk back. I'd rather just sit here for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Well, we shall wrap it up there. So this has been show 244. Thank you all for joining us. So for Lee, Darren, Maureen, Ruby, who's barking, and myself, this has been the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
That's it for another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a rating and a review. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Play, and all your podcast apps. Email us with any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or even better, record your message at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Check out our blog for even more content at uuopodcast.com. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.